guys, Jess here. I have a new scrapbook process video for you today. I am scrapping a photo of my husband and I shortly after we started dating. It was our first camping trip and we got this cute little snapshot of us taken, and I thought I would document that today. And for this layout I am using the Happiness collection from Coco Vanilla Studio, an absolutely stunning collection. Check them out if you haven't heard of them before. They're based out of Australia, so it takes a little bit to receive your kits, but I tell you what, it's well worth the wait. For this layout, I am doing a mixed media background with watercolor. So I'm using the Vicky Bouton mixed media cardstock, and this is the first time I've used her cardstock, and I absolutely loved it. It worked really well with the watercolors. The colors looked great. The cardstock didn't get watered down or mushy at all, and I slapped it on there thick towards the bottom in the darker color. So really pleased. So if you're a mixed media fan, definitely pick up some of her cardstock. It really works great. You don't have to add gesso or anything to it. It just works beautifully as is. So back to what I'm doing on this layout here, I am painting an ombre effect with different shades of blue, and I just had this idea in my head and I just wanted to see it come together. Doing this style of background and this kind of painting is super easy. As you can see, I'm just choosing 3 different color tones or different shades of blue and just painting them down the page, and it just looks, it's such an easy technique, but it looks so pretty, and it looks like it took a lot of time and effort, and lo and behold, as you can see right here, it doesn't. It's a really easy painting technique, and it just adds so much interest to a layout. So give it a try. You can literally do this with any color combination or any shades of color in it, and I guarantee you'll really enjoy the result here. So I added a little bit of white in there to give it some additional dimension. And now I am moving on to my photo, trying to figure out what to matte it with. Now I chose black and white because the colors in the photo didn't match well to the Happiness collection that I was using. So whenever you come across a situation like that, like you absolutely love a photo but you can't seem to make the colors work, change it to black and white. Then your options are endless with a black and white photo. And sometimes it helps the photo stand out even more, to be honest, which is really nice too, because that's why we scrapbook, right? Is to highlight the photo. So make it stand out by switching it to black and white. So back to the layout here. I'm in a kind of a rambly mood today, guys, so apologies in advance here. I decided to matte it with a light blue pattern paper and then black tiny hearts. So kind of tying into the black and white photo a little bit and helping it stand out. Just peeks around the edge just slightly, add some visual interest and dimension instead of just the flat photo on the layout. And I wanted to pop it up a little bit because my goal was to embellish around. So I wanted to lift the photo up so I could get some of those embellishments under the photo. And, propping up a photo adds some dimension as well. So my original thought here, I'm going through the ephemera pack now, was to do monochromatic in blues. But that didn't work out. I didn't have enough. And I kind of really wanted to dive into those beautiful flowers in this pack. And they only had a couple blue ones. So I decided to scratch that idea and go full color. And I also decided to matte my background with this really cute, I think it's a cross stitch pink background. The blue and pinks just really worked well together in this layout. I love the color combination. And as you can see, I kind of cut out the center so I could save some of that paper for later. It's really great to do that. There's no point in wasting the paper and keeping it in the middle. And that way you can use it for matting or for pocket life or project life down the road. So be resourceful with your scrapbook supplies. They'll last forever if you do it right. All right, and I want to apologize for the video. I didn't realize when I was taping this that my layout was kind of cut off at the bottom. So you're going to miss a little bit and piece of it, but I promise you at the end I have some full shots so you can see the entire layout. And now comes the fun part, embellishing. So I have a couple of, I have a tag here in the back that kind of anchors the bottom cluster I'm building. And then there's a cute little like ticket that says good stuff. And then, excuse me, going in and grabbing all the different flowers and just arranging them in a way I think that looks pleasing to the eye. Really, this is the fun part for me, is building the embellishment clusters. And I am going to, build 3 separate clusters. That visual triangle really does make it visually pleasing to the eye, and it offers a balance to the layout. So I'm going to do one in the upper left hand corner of the photo and the bottom right hand corner, as you can see here, and then in the layout I'm going to do a third in the bottom left hand corner, which you can hardly see. Again, apologies for the video. These flowers are excuse me, they have like this watercolored look to them, and that's where I built my inspiration from to do the background like I did. They're just really pretty. I wish I could have like 4 or 5 packs of these flowers because they're absolutely stunning. This whole ephemera pack is really pretty. It's like one of those collections that you want to hoard and hang on to every little piece of it. But if you hang on to it and never use it on the layout, what good is it, right? But it's just, you just get so anxious and you're not sure if you're ready to commit. But I decided before I dove into this layout that I was just going to go for it. And I was going to use everything that I wanted out. I was going to have this flower explosion on this layout. And I think I was pretty successful in that happening. But in a good way. I think it's pleasing to the eye. So we're adding some more flowers to that bottom right hand cluster. As you can see, I also got the 3 butterflies in here too. I tied those in. I just like the look of them. Then playing around with my title, very creative. Love you. It doesn't get much more simple than that, but it's true, and this photo represents it. And honestly, I was struggling with coming up with this witty, creative title. I spent so much time thinking about it as I was building this layout. And it just got to a point where I'm just like, who am I trying to impress with my layout title? I think Love You is perfect. It's the truth, and so I'm going to stick with it. But what I cut out here was a lot of me going through the different phrases in this kit and trying to come up with something clever. And I was kind of stressing myself out over it. I just thought that was silly. I don't know why I was doing that, but I was. Some of the things we do. So again, see, look, I'm rambling. Sorry. Back to the layout here. I am building that bottom left-hand cluster. I have this, there was this little banner that said, "This is my happiness," which I just love that phrase. It was so fitting for this layout. I put that on the bottom with a couple of flowers and a dark blue butterfly. And having that dark butterfly at the bottom really kind of anchors the layout. And then as you can see, just like, the colors get lighter in regards to like the flowers as you go up to the top. It kind of is opposite from my watercolor in the back, so I think it offers a balance visually. It's really nice how that all plays out together. And I just think the blues with the pinks and the oranges and the yellows, this kit is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm just in awe over it. So I'm getting my large cluster here all glued down. And as you can see, I am using glue to adhere majority of these flowers. And that the reason for that is because I did mixed media on the background. And if you were to use just your tape runner or basic tape, your nothing would stick for a long period of time because the tape just doesn't stick really well to your watercolor. So if you do a mixed media background of any sorts, you want to definitely make sure that you use glue. And I use a Art Skills tacky glue. I think I picked it up at Joann's or Hobby Lobby. I can't really recall. And then that small bottle I have is called a Fine Line glue bottle. A lot of people ask me where I got it from. I picked it up at Hobby Lobby. You can also get them on Amazon and probably any place that sells model cars, because that's the section I found it in, Hobby Lobby. So we are getting the rest of these flowers tacked down. As you can see, I'm kind of bending my layout a little bit. The one thing with mixed media and watercolor especially is that your paper will curl just slightly. So I kept having to finagle with it to kind of bend it back to its original state so it wasn't curling up on me. But overall, it wasn't too bad. As you can see, it's laying pretty flat for the most part. So we're putting in all these pretty green leaves and doing the final touches with the flowers. There really was just so many different beautiful tags and embellishments in this kit to choose from. But I'm really glad that I went with all these flowers. I don't know if you could, maybe some people might think you could overdo it, but I love all these flowers on this layout. It's so fun, and it just kind of it's lovely, and this layout is about love, and I don't know, it all comes together and it just looks really nice. I'm partial, I know, but I really enjoy this layout. I think mainly it's the papers, but the design's nice too. So I added a little tab at the top here, and I'm going to add a little phrase. I think it says sweet up at the top. Just that little bit extra to add, kind of separate your layers and kind of highlights them a little bit, if that makes any sense. And then I'm adding some foam dots just in other places to make sure that everything's lifted evenly. And they have cute little banners included in this kit, so I added a couple there on the top right. That again was just to offer some balance in the layout to kind of offset that lower left corner. It's not really a cluster, so it doesn't compete with the other three clusters that I have here on the layout. Just offered some balance. And again, that light blue at the top, it just looks nice, a little pink heart. So we got a couple little heart stickers I'm adding to fill in the space here on the tag in my bottom cluster, as well as a little phrase that says you and me. And I think we're getting close here. Oh, here is me finagling with the title. So originally it was just going to be Love You. And then I was like, oh, I can come up with something more clever. Why not Everyday Love? And then I got it stuck on there with these clear, sticky words, which are super sticky, by the way. They're great. They did lift, but it was tough getting them up. So I tried it, didn't like it, as you could tell. So I just went back to my original thought, which was Love You, which is short, sweet, and to the point. This is a photo, like I said before, of me and my husband, and I love him very much. And I think this photo shows that off quite nicely. And you can see here, I'm moving it around, trying to get placement. The title really threw me for a loop on this layout, but I just love the font so much. I just wanted to make sure the placement was really right. And as you can see, I have my phone coming in and out of the screen. I kept taking pictures and then looking at it to see what I thought. That's a really handy trick too before you commit, because sometimes when you're staring at a layout for so long, you kind of just don't know anymore. So taking a picture and looking at it kind of from a different viewpoint might help you decide on where to put something. So I finally committed and glued down the Love You. I'm adding a couple little hearts here as a finishing touch. And I'm pretty sure that is the last little bit of this layout. I'm so pleased with the way it came out. I have some images here at the end. I actually did do some stitching off camera, and you'll see those in the photos. But I hope you enjoyed this layout. I hope it inspires you. Go check out Coco Vanilla Studios, and I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.